Hello, my name is Ashley Boyd, and today I'm going to be showing you my database management project. This course is CITP 3320 Volume 1, and we are in fall of 2019. I am taking this course with Mr. Gomez. Let's begin. I am first going to show you my Visual Basic program, and today we're going to start off with going over the requirements along with the presentation so we know that all of the requirements were met. So first we're going to go over the main menu form. As you can see, we have the main menu title and we have 4 button options. We have a search button, an edit group button, an add group button, and an exit button. So we're going to go ahead and run that so we can see how that works. So what we want today is for it to reach out to a different form and be able to come back to the main menu form. So when I click on search, it's going to take me to search for a child. Let's go back to the main menu. We're going to click on edit group. That's going to bring us here. And we're going to go back to the main menu, add group. That brings us here. And then we're going to go back to the main menu. And of course, we're going to show you that the exit button currently works. So let's go back here. Okay, so now we know that all of the functions from the main menu can retrieve out and be able to come back. So let's go over my search form. And in this case, we're going to run the program so we can go ahead and see it. So we're going to click on search, and that brings us here. Here I have where the person is going to enter a child ID number. When you enter a child ID number and click on search, it is going to retrieve the first name, the last name, the gender, and if this child has any siblings or not. So we do know that we have our search child title. We know that we have all more than 3 options that are going to retrieve data. We know that the information that's going to be retrieved are in text boxes. And we're going to have a button here that's going to clear the form, and I'll show you that in a minute. And we're going to have a button that goes back to the main menu, which we've already gone over. So why don't we search for child? All right, so let's look at the first child in the list. I'm going to click on search, and that is going to retrieve the information. If I come to my database, I can go ahead and check if that is correct. All right, so let's go ahead and check if that is correct. So 2000 here, and yes, we have Kenny Boyd. He's a male, and does he have any siblings? No. So let's clear the form, and there you go. So let's try again. Let's try a different child. We can search, and yep, we see that it pulls out Nancy West. She's a female, and she has no siblings. Clear the form. Okay, so we know that the search child form is working and retrieving data from my database. Let's go back to the main menu. Now let's go ahead and talk about my edit form. So let's start again. And we're going to go to my edit form. All right. So here we have the edit form. And what we see here is we have the title here where it says edit group. Okay. We are going to edit a record and then see the information that it's going to pull out. Once we go to search for the group number, it is going to retrieve the group ID, the child ID, the group name, the room number, and then the teacher that that child is assigned to. So let's go ahead and do that. If I click on search group, it'll pull out the please enter a group ID. We're going to enter, let's do the first one. I'm going to click OK, and it's going to retrieve that information. Let's go ahead and verify. All right, so we got the first one here. Child ID is 2000. Infant Land is the one that he's assigned to. Group, this is going to be like a room number. And the teacher is Miss Tabor. So we know that this is retrieving data from my database. So now we're going to see if we can go ahead and edit this. Let's make changes to this child that's in this group. And let's say we're going to make Miss Tabor have a second last name. Okay? So let's just put Tabor and Taylor, just to see. All right. Now we're going to click on save. And that shows here that it's retrieved the data. I'm sorry, that it's sent the data to the database. Now let's check on my database and see if it successfully executed. I'm going to go ahead and refresh here. And I'm going to pull this aside, and we can tell that 4000 group number and child number, Infant Land, room number 5555. And now it says Tabor Taylor. Let's go ahead and change that back so we know that we can do that. So we'll go back here, put 4000. All right, here's the edit that I made. Now let's take that off and let's leave it back at Tabor. Go ahead and click save. We're going to come back here and we're going to see that it's back to normal. So I can successfully say that my edit group is executing correctly. Now we're going to navigate back to the main menu. Okay, so now let's go ahead and discuss my insert form. Okay, let's go to my, let me start this again. Okay, we're going to go to add group. And here we're going to insert a record. So let's see, we're going to check to see what we have here. We have 4020, so the next one's going to be 4021. So we're going to click on, we're going to type 4021 as a group ID. Child ID, let's give this to 2015. And then the group name, it's telling you right here on the side which options you can choose from. So let's type special needs. And then on the room number, it gives you your option of what room number we're going to put this child in. And we're going to put him in number 8888. Teacher is going to be Miss Ortiz. Okay, so we entered that information. Now let's go ahead and click on add group. Okay, when it cleared out and went back to the group ID. So let's go ahead and check to see if that executed correctly. Now we go down here and we see 4021 with child 2015, special needs, room number 8888, and with Miss Ortiz. So we can say that that executed correctly. And we do have 5 fields of information. So let's go back to the main menu. And we're going to actually change that child. Let's just change that child to a different room number, just so we can show everything's working correctly. Here's the one that we created, and we're going to actually change him to number 9999. Save. We're going to come back here and see if that updated, and yeah, it updated right there. So let's go back to the main menu and we're going to go back to, we're actually going to exit out of this. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and discuss a little bit of my code. So let's look at the main menu. So here we have my main menu code. You have the search button here, what tells you where to go. Same thing with the exit button. This is the edit button, and of course your main. And this is the add. So this is where it's telling you it's going to directly to take you, where it's going to go, and then how it's gonna, go back and forth. Okay, so that's the main menu. Let's go ahead and look over my search. And we're going to look at the code for that one. Okay, so here, as you can see, I wrote notes throughout my code so we can see what's retrieving what. So here it says, I put that it states the focus of the child ID text box, so it brings it back there, so it makes the user go back to the beginning, or it gets it ready for them to be able to type. Same thing from there, that's where what the focus means. This here is telling you that it'll take you back to the main menu when you click on the main menu button. And then over here on this area, it's basically telling you, all of the records that it's going to retrieve. It's going to open this is going to open the connection database, and then this is going to connect the strings and acts as a command right here. This will give you the command right in here. And this is just basically telling you that it's going to execute it. Okay, so here we have in this area, I put here that this will process the output and allow it to read. There are 4 data informations, and that's what's going to retrieve from 0 to 3, which is right here. This is telling you that every box is going to give you that record. And this is telling you where it's going to be displayed. This gives you the focus to each of the text boxes, and this means that it just closes the connection. Down in here we have the clear button where it's going to take you, and then right here is just your clear button, what it's going to do in order to clear the form. And of course your exit is your close. I'm so sorry. So let's go ahead and look over. Oops. Let's go ahead and look over the edit button. I'm so sorry. Let me go ahead and mute this. Okay. So let's go over the edit group, and we're going to click on the background code here. This is again for the edit form. It's going to tell you that this is where our search box, this will be our search box, where it's telling you to enter the ID number. This is the start of the connection database. This is where all your records going to get pulled from. This is going to connect the string and acts as a command, set up your command, and of course the command to be executed. This over here is going to retrieve the information that goes into the data record. And of course it's going to read, it's going to process the output and allow the reader to be able to retrieve the information from these text boxes. And here is just showing you that all the enabled is true. And we close the connection right here. Then we have the Save Edit button. And just showing you these are the variables. Here we have my error handler. And that goes all the way down here, and how it's going to retrieve the information. The commands of getting the update ready. This will clear the text boxes, and so on and so forth. And the last one we're going to look at is the add form. And here we have the variables, the signed, the variable values, the strings, the commands getting the update ready. This will clear the text boxes, and this is going to catch if there's an error. It's go ahead and go to show that there. And of course we have the error handler right there as well. So that is my program for this course. And if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. I appreciate your time, and I had a great time doing this project. Thank you.